evening, boys and girls. Welcome to today. And I left that camera right where it is overnight. Fortunately, I got the same vehicle back, and now that I've cleaned it, I don't really mind being in it. So yeah, but turns out that the person whose vehicle this usually is, and I know I sounded a bit cold yesterday when I said could be terminal. Well, the thing is, he's not well, obviously. Could potentially be terminal. He had to wait for medical treatment because of obviously COVID and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully he'll be all right, but it is a serious issue that he has. And like I said, I'm not going to go into anybody's personal details. But it is well known in this place that he doesn't give a rat's rear end about his vehicles. So, so when I said I'd cleaned it in here, they were like, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." Probably the first time it's ever been cleaned, mate. So, yeah. But yes, anyway. I suppose I should get on with my day. Well, I've got to put some air in the system. So I'll let it warm up for a minute. Oh, yeah. I've got a few minutes before I have to leave. Oh, what the hell? This thing immobilised itself yesterday. I got back, I parked up, so 3 breakdowns. I parked up, I tried to start it, and you know when you go to start a truck, if you're a truck driver you'll know this, it happens with cars as well, to be fair. But you start it, you think it's cold, so you let go of the key, but it just hasn't, and it shuts down. Well, I did that with this. And okay, fair enough, so I put the key back in, immobilised, please enter code. No, fine. So, fortunately I was back here, so I had to go see them, and they were like, "Are you using the right key?" I went, "I've only got one bloody key to fix." Okay, well, let's have a shufty. So, buggered about with it for a while and got it started. And now, since then, it's got VCM as a warning. No other warning, just VCM. Vehicle control module, I would guess. Oh yeah, I know I've already pointed this out in the upload, but SL, I didn't know what that was a while ago. No, I did. It's speed limiter. I just didn't think when I was recording. I was just being a moron, which is why obviously I did put it in that edit. But I was just going through everything, and I was like, SL, what the fuck is SL? And it's the limb, basically. It's instead of being where all limbs are with the, cruise control setting, yeah, they've decided to put it on the dash. But yeah, it was just, dear. But anyway, so I've got a VCM now, probably because, it immobilised itself, because it's never shown up before. I can't find any issues anywhere on this vehicle. I've hunted. So yeah, I've got to live with that today. And if this immobilises itself again, Iveco. Well, I've made it to my destination, and we're about to go on brake drive. Do you mind waiting? Who the hell goes on their break? What's the time? 9:15 in the morning. I've got to have some weird shift patterns in this place. But yeah, I've make sure that can't be seen. I suddenly looked down and I saw loads of company names. I was like, ooh. But yeah, I have been asked by a couple of people who I speak to on my social medias, have you done a review of an Iveco yet, Bill? No. And I really don't think you want me to. I really don't think Iveco want me to, if I'm honest. Well, I'm covering for 2 weeks in this place. It could be extended. I might be here longer, knowing what the issue with the driver of this vehicle is. He's not really coming back anytime soon, if ever again. So I might be covering for a bit longer than anticipated. But this is my 8th day in this company. I'm only supposed to be doing 10. And I think it's my 8th day. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I've lost track of days. I've completely lost track of everything. But yeah, I'm supposed to be doing 10, and like I said, this is my 8th day, and this particular vehicle, because obviously I had one day in someone else's vehicle, but this particular one has had 3 breakdowns, 3 time lost breakdowns. And I've been driving Mercedes Actrosses. I don't mean the Axos, I mean the Actrosses, the proper ones. Not the baby hate-filled versions, but the proper ones, as I like to refer to them. And I've been driving those Mercs for years. Various different companies. Kalina has their own fleet of them, and I preferred those to the Volvos they had. And never broke down in them. Never. Had the odd orange light, the odd amber light, sorry. I'm just warning you, look, something's gone wrong. So, you get a bulb blown, didn't you, and stuff like that. But never had a breakdown, never had the immobiliser come on, for example, like this one did yesterday. I've never had a red light flash up and I've had to sit somewhere and wait to be fixed, nothing like that. Never had to stand in the piss pouring rain trying to work out an electrical problem that I had to do also yesterday in this very vehicle. And I know you're going to have the fanboys of the Scanias and the Volvos. Okay, whatever. You like them, that's fine. They're not the worst vehicles in the world. They're pretty decent, let's be honest. But, again, if you're running on a budget, if you're running a small company doing what this company does, you're going to want a budget vehicle. One of the budget vehicles is Iveco. The other one is obviously Merc. They're not in the same price category as Scania or Volvo. They're budget in comparison. And I think I've alluded to this in a previous upload. But one of the Ivecos, the airline failed. It happens. Airlines give up. They snap. They get caught. Whatever. It happens. And when they phoned the Iveco service and parts department, were told that they didn't have an airline in stock and couldn't get hold of one quickly. Virtually every truck stop and some of the larger service stations off motorways have airlines and electrical lines in their shop. Yeah? The parts department couldn't get hold of one. Yeah, so these are on rental, 5-year contract, and that's up in October, and they're not sticking with Iveco. They're going somewhere else because of the endless breakdowns they've been having, and the service and after sales has been horrible. And that's what I've been told. This isn't my personal opinion. This is what I have been told by people who've been running these for 5 years. You're going to hear something. Here we go.
Please have a safe drive today. Continuous recording will now start.
There's probably going to be a GPS whatever scream in the background in a minute, because that's the other thing. The vehicle I was in on Monday, you plug it into the charge. Well, it's the charge point now. It used to be the cigarette lighter, but you plug your thingy in to get your electricals going through all your equipment. And taken out of context, that's just not right, is it? Plug your thingy in to get electricals going through your. Anyway, and it stayed on. It just stayed on. It was constant. This one, if I don't have the actual ignition on, after about 5 minutes, it shuts off. God knows if there's a button you can press to stop it from doing that. I don't know. But, well, it is what it is. I mean, I've got a good 24.7 volts in the battery. I'm looking at the screen. But my personal opinion of these, like I said, it's not my personal opinion what I've just told you. It's what I've been told by the people who've been running these for 5 years. GPS connected. You see, I told you that was bad. My personal opinion of these is it's not a bad place to be. It really isn't. I mean, a baby hate-filled Actros, an Axor in drag effectively, doesn't have an area, a storage area, down there for your paperwork. You have to put it overhead or on the dash if you're that way inclined. This does. This has also got 2 usable cup holders that when you put a cup into it, cost whatever, doesn't get in the way of your handbrake, your hazard lights or other buttons. And that does unfortunately happen in the Actros. It happens in the big Actros as well, let's be fair. I do like the way that the touchscreeny interactive media radio thing comes out and goes in. I do think that's quite a nice little feature. The layout isn't bad. Comfort wise, it's not a bad place to be driving. I mean, my arse goes dead quite quickly in it, to be fair, compared to other vehicles. But again, maybe put a bit more bounce in the seat or whatever. But I like the little fridge. I like the ample storage for God knows bottles and God knows what down there. Still haven't worked out what that tray is down here. But I don't really care, to be honest, because that's manky anyway. It's not the worst vehicle. Visibility is actually pretty damn good. I mean, it really is. Panoramic mirrors at the top are actually slightly more useful than panoramic mirrors at the bottom. There's a lot of space inside the cab, even though it's not a flat floor. The engine bump. But then again, this is a smaller cab. It isn't a bad place to be. And it isn't a bad place, it isn't a bad drive either. That's the thing. The gearbox can be a bit sluggish, but it's not an Axor. The Mercedes Axor shouldn't really be called an Axor. It should be called a beep beep neutral, because that's all it ever bloody does. These, it will select the gear. It might take a couple of moments longer than, say, the Volvo or the Scania or even the Actros, the newest Actros to the fleet. But it selects it. It won't just leave you hanging. The adaptive cruise control leaves a bit to be desired. I've used adaptive cruise control on DAF, on Merc. There was one Scania I drove with it, and they tended to maintain a decent distance, They'd figure out the vehicle in front is slowing down and slow down accordingly. This one it gives you a decent distance trundling along. But when the vehicle in front starts to slow down, it's like this is using its mobile phone, and then it just checks up. So, ooh! And so you kind of do that, and then slow right down to about 40 miles an hour. And then, oh, better go back up to speed again. So it's kind of doing that kind of thing on adaptive cruise. It's really irritating. It could be a lot better. That's what I personally think. But to be fair, it's manoeuvrable. I've done a lot more successful blindsides using this vehicle than I've done in Mercs. I'll tell you that. But again, panoramic at the top, it is more useful. It really is. I think all panoramics should be at the top, not at the bottom. But there we go. Yeah, I mean, driving wise, like I said, it's all right. The two setting on the continuous brake, the exhaust brake, the whatever you want to call it, the engine brake. There we go. That's when you've been used to 3 positions or 4 positions, you tend to just keep going straight to 2. And the one annoying thing with this is at the end of the exhaust brake is the plus and minus for the cruise control. So when you tap it down, you inevitably hit the little button at the bottom for the plus and minus on the cruise control, and that's why it resets from, say, whatever you set to, 50 mile an hour, whatever, down to what speed you're doing when you hit the exhaust brake, because it automatically does it. There's a little beep as you do it, just to let you know you've done it. That's a pain in the arse. Why in God's name at the end of this couldn't be a menu selector and the cruise control couldn't be on the steering wheel, I do not know. But it is what it is. But to be fair, it's not the worst thing to drive. It's not the worst place to be. I mean, once you've cleaned it up, it's actually not too bad. But it's let down by, from what I've been told, the after service, which is pretty much non-existent, and the endless supply of failures, of things going wrong, of electrical snafus, of just not starting, you know? And that's a shame, because it could be. I mean, Iveco isn't exactly some billionaire's plaything. You know, it was, what was it, Ford and Fiat kind of joined forces at some point in the past when Ford decided to give up their commercial side of things. And, you know, they've got, Iveco was born, and they've got some serious manufacturing talent behind them. So to have these snafus, to have these things going wrong all the time, I know it's a budget vehicle, but you don't expect a budget tyre to blow out all the time. You know, you expect it to do the damn job. And like I said, I've had call outs to me in 8 days, well, 7 days, because touch wood, it's not gone wrong yet today. In 7 days I've had call outs, I've had refusal to start because it's just decided to immobilise itself. It's electrical problems, just, you know, what can I say? I mean, it's done 338,742 kilometres. Most fleets, that's barely run in. I'm actually driving Axos for another company I work for with well over 1 million kilometres on them, and they still work. Yeah? This is what, 338, we'll call it 339,000 kilometres. It's not good enough. And it's a shame, because in all fairness, it's not a bad place to be. It's actually well thought out. I don't mind being in there. But every time I'm coming into work at the moment, I'm thinking, what's going to go wrong now? You know, where am I going to break down today? I never thought that in a Merc. know that's going to amaze a lot of people. Whoa, we always break down your bloody Mercs. Fine, it's personal experience. Again, that's all I can say. You know, if this is a review, it's personal experience. My personal experience of Iveco has been, I've broken down, mate. You know? So, it's annoying, it's aggravating, it's irritating. Because like I said, it really isn't a bad drive. The visibility is actually very, very good. Very good. Manoeuvrability is brilliant. I've not had any issues with this. So those baby Actrosses, those hate-filled Actrosses, the Axors, fine. The big Actrosses, fine. Volvos, fine. Scanias, fine. It can be a bit wonky every so often, depending on, you know, the convexness of the mirror or whatever. But those baby Actrosses, I don't know what it is. I can never reverse them right. I hold my hand up to it. I will always be on the wonk. Some way I will always be off the line. It will look in the mirror. I think you get out and you're like, every time. These, fine. Not had any issues. None. I've had to do 2 blindsides in this, in between buildings. Fine. Brilliant. You know, not a problem. Not even remotely close to an issue. So, that's the thing that irritates. I think that's the thing that bugs me the most about Iveco, since I've been in one, is that they're actually a decent vehicle. No, I just heard a hooter blow there. Wasn't for me, no. They're actually a decent vehicle. Manoeuvrability, sit, you know, the kind of position. There is one kind of issue, because the steering wheel does go down and it does come out. This is as far out as it comes. The problem is that if I put this seat all the way up, then my legs get trapped on it. Now, the other thing that I've kind of thought of doing that is, okay, well maybe you're short. You know, you need the seat to be higher. If you are short and then the seat goes that high, your legs can't reach the pedals. And it's really odd, the rake on this steering wheel, because you get jammed into it, as you just saw. You get wedged into it, and the only way out of it really is to do the kind of MAN flat steering wheel in front of you, which is really uncomfortable driving position. Okay, maybe some people like it, but that is a bit of a problem for as far as I'm concerned. I'm on the lowest setting on this seat. The lowest one. I'm usually on the highest one, because I like a higher driving position. And that's the other thing. If I do go back to I'm going to trap my legs again. But if I do go back to the highest position, that's right in me nuts. And I look straight ahead, I'm looking just below the CD player. So it's kind of, it's a bizarre, it's just, okay, yeah, we'll have the seat go all the way up to the roof. Oh, brilliant, excellent. High driving position, everyone's a winner. What about the steering rake? Oh, it'll be fine standard. No. Oh, hello, I've seen a forklift buggering up and down. Looks like they might want me in a minute. But anyway, that's what annoys me about Iveco. If it worked, yeah, and it worked and you could rely on it to work, it would actually be a bloody good vehicle. And I think that's what bugs me the most, is it's actually not a bad place to be. Driving position is alright, layout of the buttons is fine, it's relatively comfortable. It's just, I come into work now thinking, where am I going to break down today? But anyway, I think I'm going to be wanted, and it's raining. What a bastard. So I shall see you a bit later on. I've made it to my collection area. I'm just gonna. Oh no, they've got some juice coming through it. On it. Yeah, I've made it to my collection area, and I'm in enemy territory. No. I'm in a what looks to be a Stobie yard. Although all their signage has been taken down, so I don't know. They may just store vehicles here, because there's other companies that are on the bays, so who knows. But it's raining, it's horrible. Oh. There'll be that GPS thing in a minute. Because that's really aggravating me. I have to have the ignition on to have the electric. It's... no. The other socket don't work, so God knows, but no, it's a rainy, horrible, nasty, bloody day. GPS is connected. And I've got a curtain sider, and I'd usually open both curtains, but I'm just, if they've got a pump truck, I might just hop in the back and say, look, I'll pump it up. But it's fun. It's all fun and games. I just wish the rain would subside for a little while, just to make my life slightly easier. I know we need it. I'm not saying that we don't. It's fun. The Iveco hasn't improved since my last stop. To be fair, it's kept going, so I can't really argue with it. People are they're gonna hate me so much. Oh, well, you know, Iveco aren't that bad, Bill. Can only go by personal, experience, and I just keep breaking down. That's my experience. Yeah, I thought I'd give this another little clean over since I've been here, because I'm waiting. I don't know what's going on. Security guard here seemed to be a bit put out that he had to deal with me. Oh, okay. Rocked up, and he's sitting there and he's looking at me, and I'm like, all right, mate, I've come to do a collection of pallets. Oh, okay. Yeah, collection of pallets, mate. Oh. Yeah, he just, and he wasn't a teenager either. Far from it. Way older than me, I would guess. But he just seemed so put out, and turned up, park up here and wait for him to come over to you. Okay, will do. So I could be here 10 minutes. I could be here 10 hours. I don't know. But I know that they're organising, or the forklift driver seems to be organising stacks of pallets over in the corner, and I'm collecting knackered pallets, which seem, I don't know how much you can see out that window, but it seems to be stacked and wrapped there. So, I've parked right on the piss. After everything I was saying about reversing, not having an issue with it, I got here, went to reverse, I was well off. I was like, no. But I can't be asked to move again, because there was virtually nobody in the yard, and God knows how long I'm going to be sitting here. But Iveco build quality, that is. Oh God, how can a company possibly make something this bad? He does the job. He does the job when it's working. Does the job. Well, I suppose, obviously having a chat about Iveco and what I think about it has kind of, elongated the day, and seeing as I left that in here from yesterday, don't know how much more memory's on that card, so I'm probably running out of it. So I think I'll end it here, deep in the heart of enemy territory. God knows what's going on. God knows how long I'm going to be here, but thanks for watching. like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I'll bring all the cameras in again tomorrow. I've got 2 more days that I know left on this site, or, you know, this company. But given what's wrong with a guy who usually drives this vehicle, I may be here a little while longer. Which is good for you lot, because you get to see more content. You bastards. Wishing me to be stuck in an Iveco. How do you sleep at night? But we'll see. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I've got 2 more days. And then your guess is as good as mine. But anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. So I'll see you in the next one. Take care.